the era that we were in before is gone and probably won't return now for 20 or 30 years. Maybe less, but a long time. And real estate, we'll talk residential, because of the structure, will not stop going down until the end of 2012. And goodness knows how long it's going to bump along the bottom. It could be 5 years. It could be 35 years. My guess, 8 or 10 years at least, depending upon what happens in the world. Are we going to have epidemics? Are we going to have nuclear warfare? I mean, these Illuminists are absolutely insane. And they know if they lose, and they are going to lose, I promise you, they know that we're going to take them out. We'll try them and put them in jail and take their wealth from them. And if they don't like that, well, we'll hang them and take their wealth from them, but that's what they want. These people are so diabolical that the average decent mind can't understand how anybody or any group of people can be so evil. And that's really, at the crux of the whole thing.
Here's another question here. Do you want to mention about the option arms are about to reset in September?
Oh, yeah. The resets, I think they're going to be dreadful. And, it's going to go on and on. We've got the Alta loans that got about another year to go. The subprime should be done this year. But what's happening is FHA, Ginnie Mae, and Fannie and Freddie, I couldn't believe it. This year, Ginnie Mae will be $1 trillion in mortgages. And what are they doing, all of them? They're giving mortgages to people, which are subprime loans all over again.
With ARMs.
With ARMs. And they'll start coming due in 6 months. They won't be able to hold their payments. And in 2 years, it'll be another bloodbath. So when is that? 10, 11? We'll start getting hit again, at least within a year with some of them. But the big bomb will come, and they're still writing them during late 10 and early 2011, 2012. And so the derivative structure will eventually collapse. And you can take that to the bank if it's still there.
So would a dollar devaluation help reduce these losses for them?
No. Absolutely not. Well, I can't understand why it would. I mean, it all depends on what side of the market you're on, but if you're a writer, you don't care. But if you were a buyer, you do care. So it all depends on which side you're on. If you're a buyer, there's a seller. And the buyers, in this case, are the speculators, and the sellers are the writers of the derivatives. So I think there's mountains of trouble ahead. And please prepare. Go ahead, Melanie. I've only got 2 questions here, actually.
Here's one. We're talking about the dollar devaluation, and this is in relation to that. It's he needs to understand the mechanics. He says he's heard you say that we could expect 1 new blue dollar for 3 old green dollars. But how would this fix the public and private debt issue? He doesn't think that it would. He thinks debt would be an even larger burden under this scenario.
Well, I didn't say green for blue. I just said 1 new one for 3 old ones. And second of all, I don't know how they'll handle a debt burden. If they want a thorough and total collapse, you'll have to pay back your full debt, which you can't. And that means you'll lose everything. On the other hand, if they don't want a massacre, then what they'll do is they will reduce the amount of loan outstanding. And if you owe $100,000, they'll take it down to $30,000, and you pay that off. And if you're making $100,000 a year, you make $30,000 on a 1 for 3. But we don't know what's going to happen until we get there. And I really don't think it's important at all. What's important is how much gold do you have? That's what's important. I know it's nice mental exercise, and I talk about it, and we intellectualize about it. But in the final analysis, what's really important is how much gold you got. He who's got the gold makes the rules.
His thoughts on this would be, as we're talking about it, that it would be the other way around. The government will revaluate the dollar on the credit side of the ledger only, so that you receive 3 new, I guess it's kind of what you just said, what you receive 3 new blue dollars for every green dollar. Debt instruments remain unchanged.
No, I say you get 1 new dollar, a green one, a pink one like they have, and you give them 3 old ones to get the new one.
Well, he's wondering if it could be the other way around.
No, absolutely not. Unquestionably no. End of story. And that'll be done in the marketplace. The USDX is going to 40. And that's a conservative estimate. And I made that prediction when it was 120. That was a long time ago. And that's why the International Forecaster is the #1 market publication in the world. And how do I know that? My competitors tell me. And incidentally, I got to tell you a story, which is very important. It'll take 10 seconds. The average newsletter is losing 35% of their subscribers every year, and they can't get new ones. And we're adding about 20% a year on a net basis.
And who's the #1 gold dealer in this country? It's Discount Gold and Silver Trading.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Cliff Stearns left Paulson stumbling for words when Stearns said Paulson became Treasury Secretary so he would not have to pay taxes on $200 million of Goldman Sachs securities.
I have that tape along with Marge Kaptur on the committee as well as on the floor of the House for 1 minute on the floor. It's in tomorrow's issue. It's at the beginning, and I put on there, this is one link, this is one event you cannot miss. Between the two of them, they reamed him. This guy didn't know whether to go blind. I'm telling you, he was terrified. He has never been confronted. He was really scared. You could tell by his body English. You know, and I've been there, whether it's in sports or in the military. You know when people are frightened. And this guy was in fear of his life. I mean, he sees this all going down the drain. He sees all that money he stole, and that they did steal it, believe me, being taken away from him. Well, I get news for you, Henry. We are going to take it away from you.
Congress authorized $750 billion to buy illiquid assets. Paulson instead gave the money to AIG and 14 other banks, saying the situation changed. To which Stearns asked, did the situation change that much in 10 days? And Paulson said, you betcha. And the person who wrote this says he wished they would have placed handcuffs on him right then.
Well, and then he followed that by saying, if I hadn't done it, the whole economy would have collapsed. Yeah, and if the dog hadn't wandered out in the middle of the road and decided to go to the bathroom there, he wouldn't have got run over by the truck either. Do they expect us, people who are intelligent, to believe that crap? And that's exactly what it is. I hope you all get a copy, or our subscribers, of tomorrow's issue. Well, actually, it's going to go out tonight. And it is, the stuff we've got is tremendous, and that's in there. See, this is what this publication is about. Not only investments, not only saving your bacon, but telling you what's going on everywhere. All the news that you need to know to protect yourself.
Well, tell Judy the article will be over in 15 minutes.
Judy!
Evidently, the cash for Clunker's program, government